Hi Flosstube, this is Veronica with Night Stitch, and today I have a March 2025 summary of everything I stitched in March. Holy stitching, Batman! So, I figured out that I stitched 31 different projects in March. I should get started. This is gonna take forever. This is the second video I'm filming today. So I'm still planning on stitching today, even though it is March 31st, and I'm filming this video a day early than what I would have normally filmed my March summary. And that's because I'm going on a crafting retreat and having Flosstube itchy nose. If you guys have been following me recently, you'll know that I will be gone out of town this week. So my regular Flosstube update will still happen. It'll just be half of a Flosstube update because the video I just made, I pre-recorded everything that I pulled out of my cocktail shaker, and that's what I'll be posting on Friday. So you guys will still get a Flosstube update. It just won't be like all of it because I'm not going to show my whips in that. But for now, I guess you're going to see 31 whips, so, and some new starts. So first off, I have Museum Shelf by Heaven and Earth Designs on this lovely 25 count bed sheet Lugana. Just kidding, it's probably called Wicked Night. I got it off 123 Stitch and I lost the label, so I do not know what it is called, but I did get a lot of stitching done on this. This is a very large pattern. Let me find where it is in my long ass 31 length long list here. Museum Shelf, designed by Amy Stewart. 536 high by 750 wide. 402,000 stitches total. I worked on it for one day in March and I put in 241 stitches. It now has 1,009 stitches done as of when I started recording. It is at 0.25% and it has 400,991 stitches left. And I realized once I get a page done on this, then I can accurately put in the stitch count, because one page is, you just multiply the grids from the top and the left, and then you'll get the actual number of stitches on the page. So once I do that, I will be more accurate in what the stitch numbers are for this, because I don't know if I've said recently, but I don't have Pattern Keeper. I'm using my own math of what I know how to do to calculate things like percentages. And they're more accurate for full coverage because all the stitches are covered. But when I do a non-full coverage, I still use the same math, but the stitches are just, I really like counting stitches, and so I like having that reference for myself to know like how close I am or what percentage I'm at, so that's why I do that. Okay, one down. This one is Cozy Cafe. This is by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I'm doing it on April Showers by Fiberlicious. It's 28 count Opal Lugana. And this is what I have. It's so cute. Okay. So, Cozy Cafe is 130 high by 168 wide. It has 21,840 stitches total. I worked on it for 1 day in March and I put in 67 stitches. So now it has 693 stitches. It's at 3.17% and it has 21,147 stitches left. And I love it, and it is so cute. This is something I forgot to get the cover photo for. I will be right back. Okay, let's see if I can get through the rest of this without any more having to stop. So, I left off with Stanley. This is designed by Ellen Schinderman of Schindermania.com, but this pattern was in the Heroes and Villains edition of the Mr. X Stitch magazine. I am doing this on a 25 count Lugana that I dyed myself. I am doing this in a diagonal because I wanted to try out the diagonal stitching. So I watched Jen the Caffeinated Crafter's diagonal parking tutorial and started in the top left, and I've kind of started here going down. Because it was a paper pattern, I don't think that I marked it very well because I didn't write on it. And it's a colored pattern, so it was kind of difficult to I used highlighter tape to tape a diagonal line, but I think next time what I'll do is tape a vertical line and then a horizontal line, but have it be one block off from the 10 grid, so then it'll actually be diagonal down. So despite that, I am doing diagonal, and I'm going to work in the 10 by 10. It'll be diagonal, but I'm not going to do one row of diagonal all the way down. I'm going to work in cross country in each small part, and then it'll become a diagonal is what I'm going to do, because I don't want to do one stitch here, one stitch here, one stitch here, I don't want to do that because that'll make me crazy. Because that's kind of why I didn't like horizontal parking either, because it was one stitch in and then one stitch in, and it just, I don't know. I didn't really like that, so I'm not going to do that. I need to find, okay, here, I found it. So the design size is 106 wide by 70 high. So it's 7,950 stitches. I'm doing this 2/1 on 25 count. I worked on it for 1 day in March. And I put in 185 stitches. This was one of my new starts. I started it on March 19th, and it's at 2.33%, and it has 7,765 stitches left. This next one's a finish. This is Bacon and Eggs by Mill Hill. It's part of the Spring Bouquet collection. I did it on the 14 count perforated paper that came in the kit. I used all of the kit stuff. I did, however, use invisible thread to bead, so I did not use floss to bead. That is what it looks like. It kind of looks like Minnesota, like the state shape. This is 36 high by 36 wide. It has 1,020 stitches total. I worked on it for 2 days in March. I put in 140 stitches of beading and I got it finished. I finished it on March 19th, 2025. And I started it on January 22nd, 2025. This one is another one of my new starts this month. Is it? No, I started at the end of... Never mind. Just kidding. This is like what I started towards the end of February, so... It is done on Fiberlicious 32 count Lugana, Singing in the Rain, and it is Post Snap by Spruce Craft Co. It's 70 high by 70 wide. It has 4,900 stitches total. I worked on it for 2 days in March. I put in 202 stitches in March, and it has 262 stitches total. It's at 5.35% done, and it's 4,638 stitches left. This is Wine and Desserts by Soda Stitch. I'm doing it on Jadeite by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. That is what it is now. Maybe I should do Control F on my computer, then it'll find stuff faster. Okay, this is 103 high by 204 wide. It's 21,012 stitches. I did not start tracking this when I first started stitching it, so everything is approximately what I have added on since I started tracking. I worked on it for 2 days in March. I put in 349 stitches, so I have 1,472 stitches added. It got it up to 7.01% added on to what was there before, and it has 19,540 stitches left. This is CSI. This is by Clouds Factory. I'm doing this on Waiting for You by Fiberlicious. It's 28 count Opal Lugana. This is 75 high by 95 wide. It's 7,125 stitches total. I worked on it for 2 days in March. I put in 72 stitches. And it's got 1,780 stitches. It's at 24.98%, and it has 5,345 stitches left. This is my new start. This is Christmas Advent Calendar Day number 9 by Doreen Jones. She has a set, so it's a set of 24, and I started day number 9 because I'm doing them all separately. I'm doing it on Maldives by Fiberlicious. It's 28 count Opal Lugana. I'm doing this on part of a fabric that I have like a finish on that I'm done with, so I had some extra space, so I just tossed this on there. It's 44 high by 25 wide. has 1,100 stitches total. I worked on it for one day and I put in 126 stitches. It's at 11.45% and it has 974 stitches left. This one is Flamingo. This is a chart or a pattern that I charted myself. I'm going to be giving it away as a gift. It is done on Aquamarine by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. It's a flamingo, and this is what I have. I didn't show the words in the final like mock-up thing. I just showed the flamingo, but it's gonna say when one door opens or when a door closes, open it again. That's how doors work. Oh, I had the control find on here. Okay, so I didn't start tracking this one either till like now. So it's 228 high by 100 wide. I might have made it too, like this fabric may be too small, but whatever. It's 22,800 stitches. I worked on it for one day in March. I don't know when I started it. I put in 120 more stitches than were in already. And I didn't do any of the math for the other stuff that I wanted to say for this, so I will do that really quick here. And I am a hot mess, not prepared, scatterbrained. What? Okay, 120 stitches added to it, so, oh my god. So I added 0.53% to it, so it has 22,680 stitches left. I don't know, if the fabric is too small, maybe I'll have to restart it, but I should probably figure that out. I don't know, whatever. I started stitching it and I didn't tell the person that I was giving it to them, so they're not expecting it or anything, so. This is Patrick Bateman. I got it off Cat's Cross Stitchery on Etsy. This is one of my 1, 2, 3 stitch fabrics. So this one I do know what it's called. It's called Water Sapphire. So it's 25 count Lugana, and I'm doing it 2/1 because I do all my full coverages 2/1. This one I started in the middle and I went up like I normally do. So that's like his nose is the orange part in the middle, and then his hair is up the top. And then I'm coming back down now. So he is 226 high by 198 wide. He is 44,748 stitches total. I worked on it for 2 days in March. I put in 476 stitches and it has 1,577 stitches done. It's at 3.52% and it's got 43,171 stitches left. This one is Laundry Day by Spruce Craft Co. I'm doing it on French Roast by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. This is a new start in March. I started this on March 10th. It's 70 high by 70 wide. It's 4,900 stitches total. I worked on it for one day. I put in 134 stitches. It's 2.73% done and it has 4,766 stitches left. This is Stitcher Saying. This is by Doreen Jones. It's in the World of Cross Stitching magazine, but it's also on her Etsy shop. I'm doing this on Dreaming Blossoms by Fiberlicious. It's 28 count Opal Lugana. It's 138 high by 110 wide. It has 15,180 stitches total. I worked on it for one day in March and I put in 226 stitches. It's at 3,418 stitches done, 22.52%, and it has 11,762 stitches left. This is Dragon. This is by Author Embroidered Design on Etsy. I'm doing this on A Dance of Autumn by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And this is what I have. Gotta find it on the list. It is 172 high by 130 wide. It has 13,840 stitches. I worked on it for one day in March. I put in 242 stitches and it has 1,617 stitches total. It is 11.68% done and it has 12,223 stitches left. This is My Savior's Words. This is by Imaginating. It's designed by Connie Abel. I'm doing this on Fiberlicious 32 count Lugana, Memories in the Rain. This is 138 high by 179 wide. It's 24,702 stitches. And it's funny because it's wrinkled right down in the, like to a point. It kind of makes me think of like a car hood. I worked on it for one day in March. It has 254, I put in 254 stitches. It has 5,297 stitches done. It's at 21.44% and it has 19,405 stitches left. This is Taste of Europe. This is a free pattern by DMC. I'm doing it on Glowing Dreams by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And I recharted it, so I rearranged everything. So it's 94 high by 136 wide from what I recharted. has 12,784 stitches total. I worked on this for 1 day in March and I put in 303 stitches. It has 1,857 stitches in it now, and it's at 14.53% done, and it has 10,927 stitches left. This one is How to Spot a Supervillain. This is by Pyro Dog Pins. This is in the Heroes and Villains edition of the Mr. X Stitch magazine. I'm doing it on Wicked Night by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And this is what I have. It's 123 high by 119 wide. It has 14,637 stitches total. I worked on it for 1 day in March. I put in 393 stitches. It has 1,062 stitches done. It's at 7.26% and it has 14,361 that's not right. Or wait, yes it is. What? My math is weird here, hang on. It has 13,575 stitches left. This is Christmas in the Kitchen. This is by Sue Hillis. I'm doing it on Summer Soiree by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. This is 122 high by 96 wide. It has 11,712 stitches total. I worked on it for 2 days in March and I put in 660 stitches. It's got 1,676 stitches total. I put in, it's at 14.31% done and it has 10,036 stitches left. This is my Epic Storybook Princesses by Clouds Factory. I'm doing it on Peacock by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. It's 397 high by 647 wide. It has 256,859 stitches. I worked on it for 5 days in March and I put in 500 stitches. It has 16,428 stitches done. It's at 6.40% and it has 240,431 stitches left. This next one is a finish. I finished Christmas Advent Calendar by Doreen Jones, day number 8. I'm doing this on Naiad by Under the Sea Fabrics. And this is what he looks like. I changed the color of the little border to a variegated floss from Fiberlicious called Vampire Raspberry. And the number 8 is done in a variegated floss called Captain America by Mo Sale. This is 44 high by 25 wide. It has 1,025 stitches total. I put in 5 days in March. I put in 815 stitches and I got it done. Now I just need to FFO it. This is my skyline temperature. I'm doing this on Molten Magic by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. The skyline temperature is by Zara Design Studio on Etsy. This is a fat quarter, but it feels so small after this Epic Storybook Princesses fabric. This is 205 high by 205 wide. It's 42,025 stitches total. I worked on it for 9 days in March. I put in 1,199 stitches total. It has 3,737 stitches in it now. It's at 8.89%, and it has 38,288 stitches left. This is Well Balanced Life. This was a new start, and it's also finished. I'm doing it on Chai Love You by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And this is my crafting retreat gift, so that's why I was focusing on it to finish it. And it looks so cute. This is by Rogue Stitchery. And it's 105 high by 34 wide. It has 1,924 stitches total. I started it on March 17th, 2025. I finished it on March 31st, 2025. I worked on it for 9 days in March, and I put in 1,924 stitches in March, and it's done. This next one is a new start. This is by Nerdy Little Stitcher on Etsy. It's called I Wear Black. I'm doing it on Castle in the Sky by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. I'm changing some of the colors. It's like a combination of like pinks and blacks, and I'm using DMC 48, which is the pink, and it's like changes from light pink to dark pink. So it's 62 high by 131 wide. It has 8,122 stitches total. I worked on it for 1 day. I put in 87 stitches. It's at 1.07%, and it has 8,035 stitches left. Funny story, I started too high up here because somehow I was like, it's 3 inches for the pattern. So for some reason then I started at 3 inches from the top instead of like 6 inches from the top, or however you calculate that. Basically I started too high, and I figured it out after I put in maybe like 1 or 2 half strands of floss. So I was like, thank God I figured that out so early on so I could move it. So it was less frustrating than it could have been. This next one is Portrait of Veronica. This is by Mirabilia. I'm doing this on Monster Mash by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. This is 254 high by 203 wide. It has 51,562 stitches. I worked on it for 2 days in March. I put in 134 stitches. It's at 2,448 stitches done, and it has 4.75% complete, and it has 49,114 stitches left. This is Fall Sweet Fall by the Calico Confectionery. This is done on Elvis by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. This is 75 high by 86 wide. It has 6,450 stitches total. I worked on it for 1 day in March and I put in 37 stitches. It's at 564 stitches done. It's at 8.74% and it has 5,886 stitches left. This is Group Therapy. This is a kit by Dimensions. I am using Veil of the Night fabric by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. This is 70 high by 98 wide. It has 6,860 stitches. I worked on it for 1 day. I put in 325 stitches. It has 636 stitches done. It's at 9.27% and it has 6,224 stitches left. This is Christmas in London by Mirabilia. I'm doing it on Starburst by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. I have quite a bit on here, so in order for me to get it all on the screen, I might have to read my screen standing up. This is 297 high by 220 wide. It's 65,340 stitches total. I worked on it for 1 day in March. I put in 43 stitches. So it has 1,583 stitches left. Done. Ugh, I can't talk. Okay. It has 1,583 stitches done. It's 2.42% complete and it has 63,757 stitches left. That's all approximate of what I've added on to it since I started tracking, because this is one of them where I did not start tracking until I had quite a bit done on it. This is Farm Stand. Route 66 Farm Stand by Design Works. I'm doing this on Secret Garden by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. Why did it? Sorry, my computer made my screen scroll down when I don't think that I did that. Okay, so this is 196 high by 308 wide. It has 60,368 stitches total. I worked on it for one day in March. It has 119 stitches done and it's at 0.20%, and it has 60,249 stitches left. This is Courage. This is a pattern I designed. I'm doing it on Cafe Misto by Fiberlicious. It's 28 count Opal Lugana. It's 47 high by 104 wide. Sorry, I'm getting frustrated with all these annoyances that I'm having with everything just not folding right and my computer being crazy. So 4,888 stitches total. I worked on it for one day in March. I put in 303 stitches. It's at 1,696 stitches done. It's at 34.7%, and it has 3,192 stitches left. And I'm also frustrated because I can't seem to be able to form English words despite having English as my native language. Talk about embarrassing. This is Paris by Riolis. This is a kit where I'm using the kit floss, kit fabric, which is very rare for me. But it's because the border is printed on there and it's upside down and it looks great. And so I wanted to use that, so I did. Need to find my stats. So this is 221 high by 165 wide. It has 36,465 stitches total. I worked on it for 6 days in March. I put in 843 stitches. It has 3,843 stitches done. It's got 10.54% complete and it has 32,622 stitches left. This is Squeeze the Day. This is by Everything Cross Stitch. I'm doing it on 14 count white Verona. which is a dishcloth. I don't know if they sell Verona in like a fabric that's like the other stuff, or if they just sell it as a dishcloth. I have no idea, because this came as a kit. So this is 42 high by 120 wide. It has 5,040 stitches total. I put in 27 stitches in March. I worked on it for 1 day in March. And wait, what? Sorry, my February thing is not right, so okay, never mind, it's fine. Alright, so 1,143 stitches done. It has 22.68% complete, and it has 3,897 stitches left. I might cut a lot of that out when I was searching for things, but in case I didn't, thank you for bearing with me. Technology sometimes is like wants to be irritating when you don't need it to be. I also worked on Arctic Animals Club Stitch Along by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It is 166 high by 126 wide, and it has 20,916 stitches. I worked on it for 6 days in March, and it has 1,396 stitches, or that I put in 1,396 stitches in March. It has 13,691 stitches done. It's at 65.46% complete, and it has 7,225 stitches left. This fabric is Ashes to Ashes by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. Alright. That appears to be everything I worked on in March, which was an epic amount. I'm probably going to title this episode Holy Stitching Batman. So I'm still going to stitch today too, which will make my statistics different when I compare them, but that's fine. So compared to February, I stitched a lot. And like, not even just because February only has 28 days, but so week 1 of February, I stitched 111 stitches. In March, I stitched 293 stitches. Week 2 in February, I stitched 2,568 stitches. In March, week 2 was 3,063. So 2,568 to 3,063. So I think I just stitched a lot more this month. But total from February was 8,679, and in March I stitched 11,895, and I'm not done. So let's see, in March I worked on 31 different projects. I worked on 25 whips. I started 6 different things, and I finished 3 things. So I'd say I had a pretty good month. So anyway, I think I'm gonna go now. Thank you guys for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!